Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. And guess what? My device is up and running. So I can safely say that this morning we start off conversations by speaking with Sammy. Yes, he is the first place Cycle 7 winner of Wizdom CRM virtual stock market competition. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure for us to have you here this morning. And of course, our viewers might be wondering, what exactly are we talking about this morning? So tell us about the Wizdom CRM competition.
Okay, so the Wizdom CRM stock market game is a virtual competition that is held in Trinidad and Tobago, and it basically teaches students how to trade on the stock market. And one of their main goals is basically to promote financial literacy within the student community, as well as they are also launching a new platform whereby parents and teachers will be able to trade on the stock market as well. So each cycle, so a cycle consists of 3 months, and it usually runs within the academic semester. They usually pick the top 150 students and basically award them with certificates, medals, and trophies. And the top 20 students also receive a cash prize.
And so we're talking about trading on the stock markets here, right? And with the advent or the evolution rather of social media, you see a lot of influencers talking about, how to make your money, and we could teach you things and how to trade and stuff like that. When you embark on this particular project in this competition, is it that you get any measure of training or support in terms of learning how to trade on the stock markets?
Yes and no. Well, okay, I'll talk about the past experience and the future experience. So when I first started in 2022, there was no AI tutoring on the platform, because now there's an AI tutor where students could ask questions that they may not be able to get the answers to based on their research. So there isn't any specific way that they taught us how to. We basically had to do research and figure it out ourselves by buying and selling stocks on their platform.
This is risky business, right?
Yes.
So let's get into the actual, as you said, buying and selling stocks on the platform that was created by the Wizdom CRM. That's how it happens, right? Is it virtual?
Yes, it's virtual.
Right. So it gives you a hands-on experience in terms of how to buy and sell, because as you mentioned, there was no tutor back then, so you had to kind of figure it out as you go along.
Yes.
What was the experience like for you? Did you have any type of knowledge at all before you entered the competition?
No. When I started in 2022, I literally didn't know anything. All right, so I'll give you the whole backstory. So in 2022, Ms. Ramnaran had sent us an invitation to join the stock market game. So I actually had no clue what this was about, and I told my mom, and she was like, okay, join the competition. It's the first time, we never saw anything like this before, try it out. So I tried it out. It was a 4-day free trial, and I was just basically messing around, buying, selling, having no clue what I was supposed to do. And then I actually found interest in it. So when Cycle 2 came, the Division of Education was talking about sponsoring 5 students from each secondary school to actually take part. So this is when I was like, okay, let me try to take this serious. Let's see how far I can get in this. And it's because of the research I've done that I was able to place 19th out of 500 students. So after that, I just kind of keep developing a strategy to move forward. But the issue was, each cycle they made minor adjustments, such as before we started off with $100,000 USD virtual money. And now we started off with 25,000 USD. So it was a little bit difficult to build the portfolio over the 3 months.
And you're talking about placing 19th out of 500 students. This is in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
So congratulations to you, of course, for moving up to that stage. And of course, I would imagine that the challenge would be greater, because initially you had all of this cash to move around, and now you have 25. What are some of the things you learned from that situation where you have this abundance, and now when you move on to the next stage, I suppose you're seeing that you have a lot less to work with. What are some of the skills you learn in terms of moving things around on the stock markets with less money?
So one of the things I would have learned was time management, because with a little bit of stocks and risk management as well, you kind of have to learn where you want to put the money, because you don't have a big amount of money to say, okay, if I put 10,000 here and I lose 10,000, I have 90,000. Whereas if I put 10,000, I only have 15,000 remain. So it really taught me a lot on how to manage my time and manage which place I want to put my money in to invest certain stocks as well as critical thinking. It really made me think. That game had me up until 3 o'clock in the morning with different tabs open, trying to figure out, okay, do I invest in this market? Do I invest in this stock to make sure I get the greatest profit? possible.
So is it that you have to get familiar with the stocks and learn how the stocks move? I mean, I know it's a whole lot of different jargon that you have to use for the stock market, but I mean, learning how things move and trends and when to buy and when to sell. How do you know, how do you monitor a particular stock on the market to buy and to sell?
Okay, so recently they implemented a trading, how to say it, like a trading thing where you could see how the stocks are moving. So you could search up whichever stock you want and you will see the stock moving in real time. So then you'll be able to make your decision as to, okay, if I see the stock is moving up, I should buy. If I see it's moving down, I should sell. So that's basically how it is.
Viewers, let me just tell you this thing, right? When this stock exchange thing became really popular globally, I was introduced, I'm sure most of us were, I was introduced to it. And one day I was sent a link to a platform to try, same virtual as you did. And boy, oh boy, I am telling you, after the first 5 minutes, I threw the towel in because this was not for me. So I understand, you know, I believe I have an understanding as to what it took from you to do this, you know, the dedication, the commitment, understanding how the stocks move and all of this type of thing. And, you know, it really is amazing. Staying up 3 o'clock in the morning to monitor a stock, I am not doing that. So, you know, kudos to you and all the participants who, you know, took part in this event and, of course, coming out as the winner, Cycle 7 winner. What does this mean?
Well, this basically means that, well, for me, it is a sense of accomplishment because in the past, when I did Cycle 2 or 3 and so on, I always used to see the Trinidad students come in first, second, third, fourth, always in the top 20. And this really motivated me. Hey, why can't I come in the top 10? Or why can't I come first? And it is in Cycle 5, a Tobago student, Josiah Wallace, he came first out of, I'm not sure how many students, but he came first. And that is also what pushed me and motivated me to want to come first in this cycle. Might I mention, this cycle was basically students competing within Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. So that kind of gave me a little more pressure as opposed to the other cycles as well.
Right, well, many, many congrats to you, of course, for being able to come to the top and using the challenges that you faced as, you know, that push, that springboard to push you to come, to win the overall cycle. So many, many congratulations to you. Do you know how many students participated
in this cycle? Around 7,797 students.
So you're telling me that you came first out of 7,997 students. Congratulations, a proud moment, of course, for you this morning and, of course, for all of us here in Tobago as we celebrate with you this win. We can do great things. We can do great things once we put our minds to it. And what kind of encouragement would you want to give younger persons or anybody who is interested in participating in this specific competition? How do you access the information? How do you apply? How do you sign up? And what type of grit would you need? Because waking up 3 o'clock in the morning ain't easy. What kind of grit would you need to be successful at doing this?
Okay, so firstly, if you'd like to sign up, you could visit the Wizdom CRM stock market game on Google and sign up. In terms of advice, I would say just try it. I had a friend who was in the same class with me and she's doing all science subjects. And she was telling me she was interested, but she was kind of skeptical of doing it. So I told her, you have nothing to lose because it's virtual money and it's a new skill for her because as opposed to doing sciences, this is something business aspect. So even if you don't win, you still have that grasp of knowledge that you could use to carry you anyway. So that is my piece of advice I would give. Just try it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Aloy Sammy, first place Cycle 7 winner of the Wizdom CRM virtual stock market competition, emerging first out of over 7,000 students in Trinidad, Tobago, and Guyana. Many, many congratulations to him, and of course, words of wisdom and advice to his peers there. If you want to do it, just try. Even if you don't excel greatly in it, you will, of course, get some type of skill set that or exposure to something that is new. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations here, not in studio, but in the office of the Secretary of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, Mr. Joel Sampson. Before we continue our conversation, we go for a short break, and we invite you, of course, to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.